Other guy from Blank Man, how do you feel about the new Superman Legacy leaks that just released? No, other guy from Blank Man, you meant to say this. Superman Legacy leaks are bad! What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Fatal J. Back like I left something, and I'm glad you're here. Yes, I'm glad you're here. And today, from DCU Elite subreddit, we got some brand new Superman Legacy leaks. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we got some brand new DCU news and leaks on the Strange Adventures Mode Q. That is a section of the DCEU leak subreddit where they drop all the juicy exclusives. Now, you might be asking yourself, Fatal J, don't nobody know what's coming out? Well, I'm going to tell you something about the DCEU leaks. They are 80% right when it comes to these leaks. So you're going to want to listen up, man. Because these dudes right here, they cold. Trust me, they cold. So you're going to want to stay tuned. But before we get into the leaks, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you to do, I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, and I need you to hit that notification bell. Because every time you hit that notification bell, it makes your boy Fatal J feel oh so good and oh so swell. Yeah. Also, if you feel the need, if you want to be a producer of the Fatal J Show, make sure to join my memberships. And also make sure to drive my Patreon. Because I'm telling you, I drop the exclusives on there. I drop videos that I don't drop here. And I also drop exclusive art from my comic book Ninja Blast 2 that's dropping real soon, ladies and gentlemen. And you don't want to miss that. The links are in the description below, so you have no excuses. Also, if you can't do that, then make sure to drop a super thanks. That's all you need to do to show your appreciation. Because I like making a fool of myself for you. That's how I entertain. Now, let's get into the leaks. Now, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, DCEU leaks, they bring the pain. So we're going to break this down. We're going to check this out right here straight from them. This is what they had to say. Verified from the Strange Adventures of the Mode Q. One last DCU leak for DCU leaks plus more DCU updates. Welcome back to the new edition of Strange Adventures in the Mode Q. In this edition of Strange Adventures in the Mode Q, we have news for final film of the DCU and the DCU. Trust me, there is a difference. Verified. This is a verified link right here. That means this link right here, this leak is exclusive. This is the real deal. This is a 90% to 100% chance it's going down. Let's check out what the verified link said. It said Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. We got Pilu as Biek is portraying King Atlan's brother. The relationship is supposed to mirror Arthur and Arms. They're supposed to mirror that relationship. So if they're mirroring that relationship between Aquaman and Arm, I'm pretty darn sure that these guys are rivals and they're trying to kill each other. Let's get back into it. Let's look at the latest leaks from Superman Legacy. There are no outstanding offers for Lex that were made pre-strike. The search will resume post-strike. Gunn is looking for an actor in the 30s who looks like they can go toe-to-toe with Superman. Now let's look at that first leak that came out. It said there are no outstanding offers for Lex that were made pre-strike. And it also said the search will resume post-strike. So, we haven't got our Lex Luthor yet. But James Gunn, this is very important, my friend. It's very important to pick Lex Luthor. It's very important because this is a long-range villain for Superman. Matter of fact, it's his greatest villain. You know, it's kind of like Batman to his Joker. This is Superman and Lex Luthor. That's how crucial this is. Now, this is my thing about Zack Snyder. I felt like Zack Snyder killed it. The execution was dope. The designs was dope. The CGI was dope. The story was dope. But his Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, was straight boo-boo, hot dog, hot trash. Shout out to Damon Janai. Wasn't a good pick for the DCEU. So it's very vital. Now, if we're going by the comic book All-Star Superman, Lex Luthor is a very vital character, a very important character. If you know the story, Lex Luthor is all throughout that joint, and at the end of that book, he even gained powers. Now, I don't know if James Gunn going to do a straight-up adaptation of that story like that, or take bits and pieces. If he is going with the adaptation of All-Star Superman, you better have a dope Lex Luthor in that joint, or it's going to fail, and it's going to be just like the rest of these recent DCEU movies that don't nobody care about, and they're going to flop in the box office. Period, point blank. Now, let's look at this other part about the Superman Legacy leak. It said Gunn is looking for an actor in their 30s who looks like they can go toe-to-toe with Superman. Now, I don't know if they're still speaking about Lex Luthor, or if they're speaking about another villain that's going to go toe-to-toe with Superman. Now, if we're going to go by All-Star Superman yet again, the only two villains that was in that joint was Lex Luthor and Solaris. Now, if you know Solaris, he was just a big, gigantic planet type of villain character, but maybe they'll humanize him, make him into a human. So it's going to be real interesting to see how that goes. But I definitely agree with this leak. It needs to be somebody that goes toe-to-toe with Superman. We need a dope villain besides Lex Luthor as well. Everybody screaming Brainiac. And I definitely agree that we need to go with Brainiac. Let's check out the rest of these leaks right here. It says the Lanterns. Chris Monday, showrunner of Ozark and a longtime writer and producer for Criminal Minds, will be the showrunner for Lanterns. If you ever seen Ozark on Netflix, you would know that was drama-filled, and it was a dope show that kept you engaged with the action, the mystery, the drama. You know, that was a cold show. A lot of people was getting killed in that joint. It starred an ordinary family, and you saw the dark side of this ordinary family that was dealing with drug dealers and all that type of stuff, and the criminal minds of it. I want this dude to be behind this show, and it looks like James Gunn means business in this brand new DCU with these dope producers, dope writers, dope showrunners. Let's keep it going. Although we previously reported Hal and John will be the same age, we now know that Hal will be older and John will be closer to his 20s. That'll be dope. So that's going to be kind of like a buddy cop thing where you have the mentor cop and the seasoned veteran cop, and then you have the younger rookie cop that learns from the older cop. When I see buddy shows like that, buddy cop shows, they're always dope when you have the veteran learning from the rookie, and then the veteran pass the torch on to the rookie. So I'm very interested to see with this Lantern show how it's going to go. Let's look at the last leak. The question. We can exclusively report a series centered on the question is in development for the DCU. The question. A lot of people not familiar with the question, but there's a lot of dope things that you can do with the question. You know, the question is kind of like a forefather of Rorschach from Watchmen. You know, that mysterious guy that's solving mysteries. You know, the guy that's solving mysteries, and he's just a pretty much dope character. He's like a noir Batman type character, so I'm very interested. And when it comes to the question, he has a very cult-like fan base out there, so it's going to be real good. So it looks like James Gunn is going a different route from the DCEU, which he should be going a different route from the DCEU. The DCEU, after a while, tried to copy Marvel. You don't never copy Marvel. This is the thing about DC Comics. They was original, you know? And a lot of things that Marvel took, they took from DC Comics. You wouldn't have your Thanos if it wasn't for Darkseid. I want James Gunn to be different. Be different, because this is a time to attack Marvel right now, because Marvel is lacking. You know, the fans are dropping out and they're very disappointed. Now, same thing for the DCEU. They're also doing bad right now, and the fans are tired, and people want good stories. Now, people not caring about how many movies you put out. And people don't care what the CGI looking like. Well, you know, most of the time you do. But they want that dope story to keep you engaged, to make you escape reality. So I think James Gunn is in a great direction. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think these sound like great leaks, or do you think they sound absolutely trash? And also, what I need you to do is like, I need you to subscribe, I need you to hit that notification bell, because when you hit that bell, it makes your boy Fatal J feel oh so good and oh so swell. Make sure to join that Patreon, make sure to join that memberships, send your boy a super thanks. I appreciate that a lot. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Ninja Benny.
And we living it up.